Hello everybody, and welcome to this beautiful summer morning presentation. Today we're going to be talking to you about 9 simple living tips for a peaceful life. Something I'm sure we all would like more of in our life. We live in a busy society. We have so many responsibilities to keep up with. I'm sure you feel that overwhelm at times. Someone always needs something. Does that sound familiar in your life? Somebody's always like, I need you to do this. I want you for that. Always constantly filling in your schedule before you even have time to think for yourself. Any chance you get to rest is likely interrupted by another issue, want, emergency, or distraction. Does that sound familiar? There is little time to sit back and do one of the most important things, and that is to breathe and just allow and just be in the moment. So if you want to live a simpler life, then we have some ideas and tips for you that you can try to use or inculcate into your life, and you can pick and choose. And to the extent that you want to simplify your life, if you really feel that call to simplify your life, then you might want to go a little deeper into each one of these. So our first idea is enjoy a simple life. Determine what is important to you. So what are those things? Most people don't even write those down or have an idea of the 3 to 5 things that are the most important to you. Because once you do that, then you have a guide, if you will. You have a way of deciding whether that's too much or that's not one of my top 5 priorities, so I'm not going to do it. It'll give you breathing room. That's so important in our lives. Get rid of the clutter. And this is something you've been hearing over and over again. It's a very popular topic at this point, getting rid of clutter. And I gave the description. I know recently driving around in a suburb in my neighborhood, and garage doors would be open, and inside those garage doors, those garages would be chock full of stuff. You probably couldn't cram another thing into them. Maybe you're even one of those people who has a garage that looks like that. What do we need with all of that stuff? It's a garage. You're supposed to be able to park your car in there, but it's not possible. So get rid of clutter, and you can start small. There's always a junk drawer in every household. Develop daily routines. And again, this is really important. And we're not just talking about, though they're really important, you're doing affirmations, your gratitude list, working on thinking and living a more positive life. But it's also how you incorporate things that you need to do as part of your life and how to make them almost automatic. So my big example is I live here in Panama, and sometimes you can hear the birds twittering as I'm recording. I live here in Panama. It's most of the time, and it's sunny and warm. It's a wonderful tropical climate, and so I have a uniform. And the uniform is a t-shirt, a pair of pants, shorts, and sandals. That's it. That's all I wear. And what I have is I have 10 t-shirts, so they get hung up in a row, and I take the first one in the row, and that's the one I'm wearing today, and a pair of shorts, and I have 4 or 5 pairs of shorts, and that's it. So I take my shirt, a pair of shorts, and I'm ready to go. The next day I take the next t-shirt in line, and sometimes I wear the same shorts for 2 or 3 days, and then I change them as well. When I get to the space where I see, oh, I've only got 3 t-shirts left, that day I do my laundry because I need to get clean laundry ready to go because I'm going to be through those t-shirts in the next 3 days. So it's automatic. It's automatic. I see that, I go do the laundry. So that's the idea of routines. It's called habit stacking. So you have one habit. So it's one that you do every day. For instance, coffee. So on top of your coffee, you say your affirmations, or you take a breath and think about how you want your day to unfold. So habit stacking. So find ways to do that with things that you need to do in your house. Learn to say no, and this is critical. And this is where, if you go back to the first one that we asked you to do, and that is to figure out what is important to you, those 3 to 5 things that are important to you. If it's not one of those things, it's a no. And you can practice saying that no. It takes courage at first to say no, but it stops you from being swamped by everything that's going on around you. And again, that being pulled in every direction because you're saying yes to everything, and now your life is busy and crazy and wound up, and you're stressed out, and you're not feeling really relaxed. And that's when saying no can really increase the quality of your time, introduce calmness into your life so you can take time to breathe. Spend time with people you love. And again, this one seems like a no-brainer. Spend time with people you love. Of course you want to do that, but think about your day. Who are you spending your time with? Really think about that, because if you're like everybody else, you have a routine, you have work, you have a job you go to, you spend more time probably with your colleagues than you do with your family. So it's how do you find that space? So saying no, understanding what your most important things are. This helps you carve out that space that you can spend more time with the people you love, with your family, your friends, your special partner. Let go of toxic relationships. And here, this is a big time waster. I'm sure we all have that person in our lives, or did have that person in our lives, who just sucks us dry. Have you ever met somebody like that? You spend some time with them and you're like, by the time you're finished, you're ragged, you're feeling depressed. They've been talking about negative things the whole time, and you're like overwhelmed. Now, after you finish talking with them, find those people and find a way to reduce the time you spend with them. Now, the big challenge, of course, is that's a family member. Then it might take some deeper work. It might take going to see somebody for some help, figuring out how you can negotiate that with that person. So, but it's important, because if you want to end up having a more peaceful, tranquil life, then those people need not be part of that, because they're going to suck you dry of time, energy, and your ability to feel compassion for others, because they just absorb everything in their area. I'm sure you've met people like that. Limit your time online. And folks, part of the reason we are so overwhelmed today is this: social media and our cell phones. It's like we cannot exist without a cell phone. And we need to find a way to limit our use. And one of the ideas, a man I really respect and read a lot of, is Brian Johnson, and he is he advocates a digital sunset. At some point in the evening, all the digital apparatus get turned off. And that seems extreme to us, right? We're so used to being that way. But I went several years living on a farm, and I did not have a television. Or we had it, but we never used it. I can't remember, but it was never turned on. And I spent all that time reading and doing projects that I love to do and all that. I have more quality time on my hands. So it's a good experiment. Maybe even the challenge your family to go without TV for a week and see what kind of reaction you get. Even just suggesting that will cause an uproar in your family. But maybe you can negotiate something to say, hey guys, let's try to turn off all of our digital apparatuses half an hour before we go to bed. It will allow you to sleep better, believe me. Simplify your wardrobe. I sort of talked about this. I have 10 t-shirts. That's it. I don't have any more than that. I live for this environment. When I go home to Canada, then you might do seasonal wardrobes where you have out the wardrobe for the season. So spring, you have your, I don't know, 10 sets of clothes for spring. I watched a video, I think it was on YouTube, and I'm not sure if the number 6x6x6 or 8x8x8. It was you had 8 tops, 8 bottoms, and 8 accessory pieces. And from that, you can almost create an unlimited wardrobe. So just think and look and pause and go, do I need all these clothes? I think of my sister, my wonderful lovely sister. She has 52 pairs of shoes. Why? And you know, they're in her closet, in a bedroom, in a spare bedroom, because there isn't room in her bedroom for them. And she doesn't work now. She's retired. She doesn't ever wear that many shoes. So why do you have things sitting around that you haven't used for? You can use like a timeline. Have you used it in the last 6 months or so? Or maybe I should keep it. But if you haven't, 6 months or on, or a year, you've never taken it out. I used to have what I called my museum pieces. And they were clothes that I knew that I would probably never wear again because they were too small for me. This is back when I had gained a lot of weight, before I had managed to get rid of all my weight. And I had these, they really were museum pieces. I used to call them my museum pieces. So if you have museum pieces, they're colors you would never wear, or they just have an associated memory, then it's time to take them off the hook in the closet and donate them. Get rid of your museum pieces. Take time to plan your week. And so few people do this. So few people spend any time planning their day, their week, their month, and so on. It's important to spend some time. And it doesn't have to be a lot of time. People get this thing like, oh my God, I got to plan out my week. That's going to take me all of my Sunday. It'll be gone. No. 30 minutes, take a look at what's the big picture for the week so you have an idea of where you're heading. It's like a map that you're using to get to a certain place. You don't need to know every single crossroad you're going to cross. You just need to know the major intersections so that locates you to, oh, I need 2 more blocks this way, or, to I don't know, 54th Street, and then I turn right, all the major ones. You don't need to know every little detail in between. And it's the same for your plan for the week. 30 minutes, you're done, but you relieve yourself of of some of the stress and anxiety about not knowing what's happening for the week. And then you can take your Sunday and you can go pull out your chair, sit down, get your favorite book out, sit down and read, have some quiet time, chat to some friends. Really, really, really find that time to just breathe. So I'm all about doing the action. So it's all nice and great to talk about theory and, oh, here's 9 ideas that you can use. And you go, oh, that's a good idea, and that's a good idea. But if you never put action to them, nothing happens and nothing changes in your life. So if you really truly want to simplify your life, then take a really good close look at these 9 steps. Now, what I've done is I've created a free mini report with the 9 steps, and each step has a component part with an action. So you fill in one action for each thing that's on there. Now, you don't have to do them all, but at least take a stab at the ones that appeal to you. What can you do? What is the first step you can take? What action will get you started in doing that? So here's the 3 fast action steps. And then if you download the guide, you'll get more information and more detail. So Sunday afternoon, we were just talking about this. Write down your priorities and what is important to you. Take time and do that. First step that we talked about, step 1, because the moment you have that, you'll be amazed at how much time that frees up for you to do the things that you love doing. Purge your closet. So we're just talking about this. We're talking about museum pieces. Take everything out, look at it. When did I last wear this? Does it still fit me? Do I still look good in it? Is it old? Is it oh, I'll save it because that fashion will come back in 40 years from now. Get it out there. If it's something you put aside to be repaired or fixed, get it to the tailor and get it fixed. Or otherwise, donate what you're not going to use. There are people out there who are looking for really good used clothes that they can get. And like, it's really popular now in Canada, Value Village, everybody goes, lots and lots of people. It's not somewhere to go now if you don't have any money. It's like all kinds of people go there because there's good deals and good clothes to be found to wear. So it's another thing about giving back too. You're giving back some of your abundance to others. So it's a win-win situation when you do that. Take your kids out for ice cream and engage with them. The second item in the 5 parts of wellness, well-being, is engagement. It's something that gets lost in the hustle and bustle. We are so busy moving around, doing things, and that we don't actually take time to stop and engage with people. So engage with your kids. It doesn't have to be at a ball game, and actually it shouldn't be at an activity. It should be something you just do. There's no activity attached. You're just going to go and have ice cream and chat, or have fun, or watch a movie and popcorn and chat. That's something that we all need to do more of, to engage. So figure out a way that you can include that in your week. And as you do some of these steps, you're going to be creating the room and the space to do that. So that covers everything that I wanted to share with you today. And there are lots of different ways to simplify your life. I haven't even touched on food and healthy living and living more cleanly and authentically. It's really important to study all of that, and I've included in that mini report that I talked about, I include some reading material that you can go deeper if you're interested. So we don't all want to, give up everything and go live in a tiny house out in the country, but we do want to simplify the life we're leading without maybe having to change households and things like that. It's just, how do I simplify what I'm doing right now, how do I make it more breathable, more livable, more enjoyable? How do I do more of the things I love, and how do I stress out less? Now, so the link for that will be below the video, wherever you happen to be watching it. So if you're watching it on YouTube, it'll be below in the show notes. If you're watching it in the blog post, it'll be below the video in the blog post. Now the blog post has more information. So if I'm doing this on YouTube, if you're seeing this on YouTube, in the show notes you'll see links to the blog post as well. But we include a place where you can go and get how to write and use powerful I am affirmations. This is a free training program. It's easy to use. It's the first place to start. If you want to simplify your life, you need to think more positively. You need to know that you can simplify your life. And instead of having that negative voice going, you can't do this, you can't do that, that's impossible to do, you'll never be able to live more simply because look at the life you are, look what you have to do every day. No. Start working on your mental health, on your positive mindset, and things will begin to become easier for you to use those 9 steps we've been talking about. So I hope you I hope you enjoyed the tips that we shared with you today, and that you can put them into use, because practice is where everything begins to happen, and nothing in your life will be simpler if you don't find ways to incorporate some of these ideas in your life. Anyway, I'm Nick Grimshawe. I teach people struggling with inner transformation how to build a solid foundation, change their mindset to a positive mindset, and to live the life they're seeking to live. I wish you all the best, and remember, dream big, live inspired.